All right. Welcome back, chaps and chapettes, to the newest episode of the Chap Chat with me, myself, and I, Connell B. Doyle. We're back on the Wednesday schedule, and yes, you're reading the thumbnail correct. I am black. We have figured it out. The DNA tests are in, and we're going to talk about that shortly. For all the original listeners, as we say every week, we start the show about talking about life for a while. Like Billy Joel says in the song, forget about life for a while. That's what you're going to do. You're going to sit back, listen, enjoy your beer. If you're working, lock in, get in the flow state. If you're getting away from your girlfriend, here's a few laughs. You can deal with her later. If you're getting away from your boyfriend, what are you trying to get away from? Don't stop being toxic, lady. Go speak to him. Hash it out. Communication's important. These bloody women, they never learn. Listen, chaps and chapettes, we're back. YouTube have really just shadow banned me. I made a new channel. All the episodes were getting 1,000 odd views, 2,000 odd views. Now they're getting 100. Thanks, YouTube. Thank you very much. You found my new channel. You did a good job of finding that and shutting us down quickly. But anyways, I feel like I always address the YouTube crew, but the Spotify crew are strong. You're all listening. Last week's episode got 13,000 listens. Actually, 2 weeks ago, we got nearly 40,000 listens. So, guys, we're flying on Spotify. But yes, as you can see, we're in Gouda in the Netherlands. We're sitting in the middle of, a docking sort of area. And the weather isn't great. So we've got a bit of overcast going on right now. But nonetheless, we're back, boys and girls. So, as I just said, we talk about life for a while. What has happened this week is, we went on a bender. I've been health maxing. I went on a bender with our friend, Mino Damien from Antwerp. Went on a bender with him, came back to the Netherlands. Hadn't been around our star, our David, who usually does the show with me. And then me and him went on a further bender. So, wasn't great, but we're health maxing. We're back. And, boys, actually, let's get into it. A lot of people talk about breakups and say, what's one of the worst things about a breakup? One of the most underrated, underappreciated, sad things about a breakup, and this is a really sad thing about a breakup, is losing their cooking. Nobody talks about this when you talk about breakups. Losing the other person's cooking. I would say one of the worst days of my last relationship was actually a day I asked her to cook me fajitas. I was going out with a girl. Sorry, not girl, she's a woman. I'm not even going to give her the girl title. She's like 30 something, alright? My last girlfriend from Essex, And I don't know if they're known for their cooking. Thomas Skinner, he's a pretty good cook, I believe. I don't know if this area is renowned for their ability to chef up meals. But I said to my last girlfriend, I said, listen, would you make me fajitas? But my girlfriend before her, Alsace, Angel, she could cook up an unbelievable fajita. Unbelievable. My girlfriend before her, Lucy, not shout out her, because I didn't even cheat on her. And her sister's running around my hometown being like, yeah, Connell Doyle, of course, he's done this. He used to cheat on my sister. I didn't. We were on a break, like Rachel from Friends. Let's get that straight. Tried to dump her before she went to America. I've said it about 100 times. Tried to dump her in your mum's kitchen. Anyway. Now, let's not go to the side note, chaps and chapettes. Listen, she made unbelievable fajitas. Shout out her, shout out Sash. 2 unbelievable cooks. Next up, the Essex girlfriend. She makes me the fajitas. I've got the expectations. The girl set 10 out of 10. I went from one good cook to a great cook. And then to what is now going to be discovered. So, we're sitting in Essex, sitting in Colchester. Girlfriend at the time, this woman, she brings me my dinner, fajitas, my favourite meal. As I say, the bar's high for my last 2 ex-girlfriends. She comes along, I eat the food, boys. My eyes expand, it's like I'd taken a load of narcotics. My eyes get this big. I start welling up. It's not the onions. The onions aren't making me cry. The absolute awful meal that was put in front of me that I had to finish made me realise, it made me regret, should I have broken up with either of my 2 exes, because this can't be the dinners I'm eating for the rest of my life. Worst fajitas I'd ever had in my life. The peppers were burnt, first of all. Alright? And I never told her this. It was being nice. Peppers were burnt. The chicken was chewy. And I sat there and I thought, this can't be it. This can't be the standard of my dinners for the rest of my life. This is what I get. This is what God has came to me and went, you know what it is, mate? You had 2 lovely girlfriends before. We're going to give you this one, and she's not going to be able to fucking cook. And God did that. And God did that. He said, here, boy, that's what you get. You got greedy. You had your cake. You could have ate it. But no. You wanted another cake. And now the new cake tastes absolutely disgusting. Nobody talks about that. When you're talking about breakups, everybody talks about, oh, the loneliness, I missed him. Nobody talks about the fact that if you had a good ex-girlfriend who was good at cooking, if you had an ex who's a good chef, you might get a new girlfriend who's bad at cooking. Your new partner might suck at cooking. You might get a new partner who sucks at cooking, and that's what happened to me. That is what happened to me. And it didn't feel nice having to eat these fajitas that tasted like dog food. But that's what you get. Anyway, me and David had a girl cook for us. Actually, as of last night, she cooked up a nice dinner. We're going to leave this girl anonymous for everybody's privacy involved, me and David's privacy and the girl's privacy. Alright? She came and she cooked good fajitas, and I thought, there's faith in the world. There's faith in the world. I didn't just get lucky with 2 good girlfriends and 1 dog water cooker. I didn't just get lucky with them 2 who are excellent cooks. There's more out there. People say there's plenty more fish in the sea. There's plenty more good cooks in the sea. So the fajitas last night, fantastic. But that was the first, day we've been normal, because we've been on a bit of a bender. And benders 1 night, 2 night, 3 night, 2 nights, nobody slept, pretty much. And it was just hectic. And yes, so the bender, let's get into it, right? So we actually invited our good friend, an angel, our good friend Tans, around to the house, right? Tanya, Ukrainian refugee, all right? She's going out with a very dear friend, Timothy, all right? My good friend Timothy, he is in Russia, all right? And obviously he's in Russia, he's in a different time zone, he's with his friend, they're out sightseeing. Like, it's not like this guy's just being a degenerate, he literally loves Russia, the history, the culture, so he's not active on his phone. Alright guys, this story gets good. So he's not active on his phone, he's not replying to me, he's not replying to David, he's not replying to any of the boys, he's out there sightseeing. So he said to his girlfriend, come on round, have a bit of meal, have some food here. I bought everybody some nice snacks, nice lunch, and invited her around. She was sat with the other girl. David was there. I was there. It was good catch up. We haven't seen old Tans in a hot minute. And then, obviously, a few drinks come in, and she starts to mention, not in a bad way, she's just like, have you heard from Tim? I'm like, yeah, I kind of have here and there. Nothing as usual. Oh, he's not really replying to me very fast. And Tim is Asian. So, obviously, at the start, it's about 4:30, she comes around. At the start, we're being nice. We're like, oh, it's fine, he's busy. Eventually, I'm sorry, Tans, if you hear this, we were all like, would you shut up about this for 2 seconds? Like, we actually don't care. So, eventually, me and David then start, like, really taking the piss. We're, like, making fun of the whole situation, right? And we don't care. Everybody's clocked out. We've listened to this for literally at this point. It was actually going up to 5 hours of hearing this, just sporadically, dropped into conversation at any chance. Tim isn't replying to me. All right, he's in fucking Russia. What do you expect, okay? So anyway, we love Tans, by the way, but she will even say herself, she kept saying, I feel bad, I keep bringing it up. It's good. By the way, good stuff. Tim, you've got this woman bloody obsessed. And now she's harassing us about it. Because you won't reply. I was even going to get angry at you. Be like, fucking reply. But anyway. Tim won't reply fast. We're like, right. Okay. So we start putting on Asian music because Tim's Asian. So we start putting on like a meme. And it's like, ling ling, answer the phone. And it's like this Asian sort of backdrop song. So we're playing that, right? And we're like, that's Tim's ringtone, right? So we're obviously not provoking, but we're poking fun at the fact that this Ukrainian girl's Asian boyfriend isn't answering. We're playing Asian ringtones, right? Ling ling, answer the phone. Ling ling, answer the phone. Ling ling, your phone linging, right? So she's kind of finding it funny, but she's probably on the brink of tears. Me, David, and the girl are all pissing ourselves laughing at this, right? I mean, we're in hysterics. And then I send the video to Tim. I say, I think I have the exact, oh no, me and his chat's deleted after 24 hours. But I send the video to Tim and I said, mate, we're playing this to Tans because you won't answer her texts, right? Bear in mind, she texted him and attempted to call him. And he hadn't responded. My phone sat there, I've sent this message off to Tim. Tim replies to me within like 2 seconds. And replies to the text of me addressing the fact that we're mocking him and her because he's not replying to her. He actually responds to my text about him not replying to her and doesn't actually reply to her. So she's like, did he just text you? We're like, yeah. She's like, he still hasn't replied to me. So he actually ignored all of the memes about it. The video of us laughing at it, showing the video, we recorded her texting him, calling him. We were playing the song, ling, 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 your phone linging in the background. Sent that to him. Didn't answer her call, didn't answer her text. Response to that video. It was absolutely fantastic. But that was the last night of our bender, let's just say, Oh, you're jumping in the background? No worries. It's live right now. We're live. 15,000 people just watched you do that. Yeah, there you go. I was going to say something really inappropriate, but I'm not saying inappropriate. But idiot. Did you say idiot there? Sorry, guys, for anyone who's listening on Spotify. I was going to try and make a really offensive joke there. Being like, we're live on Babe Station, but I looked and she was with 2 men. And I was like, let's not make any inappropriate jokes whenever they could just walk over here and just knock me clean out. That is the problem with doing in public episodes, by the way. That's the problem with it. You get people coming along all the time. There's one episode recently just down by the canal there. Literally just directly down that road for anybody who's watching. It's sort of like southeast. Yeah, southeast to me in your angle. And we were filming out in the public, on a public bench, and a man came out of the boat and just started harassing me. I actually just straight up left the episode. I was like, this is not good. It's just me and some guy arguing. Kind of kicking myself now. It could have been a good clip if I had got to Babe Station. This comment there, we're live, 15,000 people on Babe Station. You want to come along? I don't know if the Dutch would know it. Anyways, chaps and chapettes, I digress. That was our bender. Fajitas were made last night. We're coming around. We're feeling healthy. We have got new YouTube content coming as well. By the way, listen, I don't want to tell you the ideas, but the ideas are absolutely bizarre, what we're coming with. We're going to obviously, I like the weekly vlogs, but I kind of want to do something. I want to try something new. I want to try like an actual scheduled concept. Organized, not just like follow us around. Something that's like, direct. And I've got 2 unbelievable ideas. So we're going to get into that. And then now it's time to get in to the good content, the bit that you're all waiting for. That's life. That's what's happened in the last 7 days. Yes, YouTube's going to be coming back. Yes, we also will be doing exclusive Chaps Chat episodes now on Patreon. Sorry, they have been slacking the last couple of weeks, but they'll be back with a bang. And I'm also going to offer uncut episodes. So, you know how famous I'm becoming, guys, right? I am becoming so famous for being racist, right? So famous for it. In the last couple of months, in the last 2 months, we've gained nearly 100,000 followers for me just being famous, right? This Spotify podcast is now top 5% on Spotify in the world, right? We're getting big time. We're getting big time out here, right? We're getting 40 million views a month. I have actually, in the last couple of months, got so popular that now, and so popular for being racist, by the way. Let me reiterate that. I am getting so popular for being racist that I am now officially on famous people's birthdays. There's actually like a ranking of how famous we're becoming now. We have actually went from just being racist on camera to famous celebrities' birthdays. It's there. I will pull it up right now. It's kind of exposing me for my age, my date of birth, and my star sign. They've given my star sign away. So any girls who like a Sagittarius, I'm here. I'm here. I'm waiting. Let me pull this up, right? I've got a screenshot of it. Famousbirthdays.com have now actually listed me as an official person that people are searching for. They literally emailed me and said, hey, a lot of people are trying to find your birthday. Can we sign you up? Can we sign you up to famous birthdays? Famous people's birthdays? I would like to say thank you all so much for getting me so fucking famous that I'm now on famous celebrities' birthday site. And I would like to know who, like, apart from maybe like the Austrian painter, who's up there? I kind of want to be one of the most famous racists alive. I kind of want that title, you know? Austrian painter's up there, Nick Fuentes is up there, Connell B. Doyle's up there. We've done it. Look how much movement and motion we've got. We're literally on that website. You know when you're in school and you're Googling, oh, who's got the same birthday as me? And you put in December 18th, 1997. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there, front and centre on famous people's birthdays. And it's all because I've been racist. And this didn't land at my feet. You know, getting listed as a famous person and put on the famous people website didn't come easy. I had to really dig. There's days I thought, I don't feel too racist today, and I dug deep and I made myself racist. And I should be an inspiration for all you out there. You know, when you wake up and you're like, I don't feel like being racist today. You know what? Did I do that? Did I look at December 18th on the famous people website? Did I do that? Did I give up like you guys did? No. Kept being racist. Didn't stop. Woke up on the wrong side of bed. Who did I blame? The Jews. Right? My coffee beans were a little bit burnt. Who did I blame? The Jews. You know? Lost my keys in the house. Who did I blame? Black person stole them. If you guys really wanted it, you could be racist and famous because of it too. Let me inspire you all. Let me inspire you all. Do you know how fucking famous we are now? You know, I've become so famous for being racist that I'm literally on famous people's birthdays. Me. All for racism. What are you doing? So if you're feeling down, feeling unmotivated, get up, say the N-word. Get up, blame the Jews. Get up and do it. Because I did. And look at me now. December 18th, Sagittarius. That's me on that website. Front and centre. Front and bloody centre. Who's doing it like us, you know? Who's doing it like us? Not loads of these losers online. Cosplaying, being cool, not like me. Not like me. They even talked about my fashion. That's how much oral we have. They talk about my fashion. They talk about the reality TV shows I did years ago. They talk about that. They talk about that. Motion. Motion. That's what I'm talking about. So anyways, that's how famous we've become, right? So, let's get into the next topic as well. I posted a video the other day, right? I'm getting very cancelled for saying a slur. Alright? There's comments, no way he used a slur. Alright? And I'm actually receiving one of the most hefty backlashes that I've ever had online. I'm receiving one of the, like, genuinely, it's actually rare. I'm getting death threats at the minute. And it's weird because I just said trannies. It wasn't even like a really drastic word. But I am really getting hit hard with cancellation at the minute. The cancellation I'm facing this week is wild. Everybody's saying, no way he just said that slur. And I want to address it. I do actually need to address it. Because, like, listen, guys. It wasn't a slur. I think I pronounced it perfectly. I didn't slur any words. Let me just get that clear, guys. Didn't slur a thing. Pronounced it perfectly. Alright? Let's get that straight. It's not a slur. I pronounced it so well. I pronounced it perfectly. So, for everybody commenting saying, he used a slur, it wasn't a slur, I pronounced it perfectly. Get it right. Right? You used an offensive word. Don't you dare accuse me of slurring. Did I look like I slurred? Do I sound like I slur my words? Do I look or come across or orate in a, in a slurred manner? Do I seem that uneducated to you? I got a law degree. I don't slur anything. I'm a well-educated, fantastic orator. Don't you get it twisted. Don't you get it twisted. Wasn't a slur. Going to address that. Going to pull that comment up. Bloody saying I'm using slurs. Go kick rocks, tranny. Alright? Kick rocks. Bloody kick rocks. But anyway. So again, because the momentum's here, you know, a lot of people are just like, people are seeing my clips all over the internet at the minute. And obviously recently the Chaps Chat, my podcast, is getting a lot of virality. A lot of people trying to cancel me for the podcast. YouTube taking the podcast down. Like this podcast gets me more cancelled than anything. Anything I do. Alright? YouTube are shadow banning it. Spotify are okay with us. You know, Instagram are shadow banning it. TikTok have banned my podcast. It's not good. So people sort of see it. They know it's my podcast, and people just want more details. If I could describe this podcast in 3 words, I would describe this podcast as racist, sexist, homophobic. Actually, give me 4. Anti-Semitic. That's how I describe it, boys. That's how I describe it. You know, it's all over the feed. I'm all over the feed. I'm everywhere. I'm popular at the minute. We're killing it right now. But this podcast will not get promoted on YouTube. Spotify are being okay with us. Instagram are shadow banning it. TikTok have banned this podcast. And if I just had to tell you guys one reason to physically go out of your way, like if I was to sway all you guys to go out of your way to come over and listen to a full 40 minutes, I would just describe it in 3 words: racist, sexist, and homophobic. And I throw in an extra 4th and say we're anti-Semitic here too. And you're all welcome, you know? I want this to be the most racist podcast on the internet. I want that throne of having the most racist podcast on the internet. Don't want anybody beating me. So, if you want to come support us, we're racist, sexist, and homophobic over here. Sign on up, you know? If that's a good reason to get in and get listening, what else? What else do you need, you know? What more do you need from me? That's it. Why should people listen to this podcast? Because we're racist, sexist, and homophobic. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, what's wrong with you? You know? Just come on over. Forget about what the Jews are doing. Forget about hiding your wallet from the black people. You know? Forget about the newsrooms blowing everything up. Just come on over. Put your earphones in and listen to some racism, sexism, homophobia, and anti-Semitism, I may add. Keep forgetting about that one. Just, boys, that's what you should do. And I'm here. We welcome all the racists with open arms. We welcome you all. Homophobes, Islamophobes, anti-Semites. You're all welcome over here. No, we don't judge over here. You're all welcome. It's really weird because I feel like every week I'm sort of having to readdress like new things because you just appear. This is probably good for you guys to know. You know my Instagram reels, I think on average 75% of people who view them are new viewers or non-followers. So it does sometimes feel like I'm repeating myself trying to explain what we are, what we're doing, but because the momentum's there and because we're getting more popular on Spotify and stuff, it's sort of like a constant repeat of what we do, what we're here for. Obviously at the start I tell the stories for everybody who's already an old listener. I answer these questions, etc. at the end, but I know for a few of the OGs they're like, yeah mate, why do you have to keep saying and explaining what we do? And it's like, bruv, you know, there's a lot of new people coming over, listening. So I would actually say that would be probably one of the happiest moments of the day, of the evening, is going on to Instagram, you know, going on to TikTok and just seeing people calling you a racist, sexist and homophobe. You know, that is the best part of my day. If I had to tell anybody what the best part of my day was, you know, life's tough. You know, you have good days, you have bad days, you have highs, you have lows, you know. Your heart might get broke one week, you might be in love the next week. You might have loads of money one week, you might lose it all the next week. Life is tough. Life is tough. Alright? Nothing in this life comes easy. That's the whole point of life. We're all in a constant pursuit of happiness. But if I was to tell you guys right now the happiest moment of my day, and it's the simple things that we should all think about. We should all just try and find peace and happiness in the simple things in life. So for me, if I was to explain to anybody what the happiest moment of my day is, it's just when I wake up, whether it's in person or over the phone, and somebody calls me a racist, somebody calls me sexist, somebody calls me homophobic, whether it's text, whether it's verbal, face to face, whether it's yelling it across the road, when that happens to me, I just don't think I could find peace like that in love. You know? No sex, no drugs, no alcohol will give you the happiness that being called racist, sexist, or homophobic will. You know? No sex, no drugs, no alcohol, nothing will give you peace like being called a racist. There's nothing better, there's no better feeling. Getting married, who cares about that? Having your firstborn, who cares about that? Having a healthy family, making millions of pounds, millions of dollars, who cares about all that? But call me a racist, man. You stole my heart. You stole my heart. Thank you. Thank you for that. Happiest part of my day. Happiest part of my life, some would even say. Happiest part of my life. I feel like whenever I answer these questions, I'm just not giving sincere answers. What actually does make me happy in life is probably doing this, actually. This actually would probably be the thing that makes me happiest. Just YouTube, vlogs, Instagram. It is what I like doing. I actually genuinely mean this. It's going to sound super gay. But I do really enjoy making people feel better. Like I remember it was the worst ending I had. Something I don't know why it took me so west. The only time I've been really down bad about an ending. These are okay to go behind here. Sorry. Say, boys, this is what happens when you're doing a podcast live in the public. People are just walking in behind. But if I was truly to say the worst ending for me for a breakup was this girl actually called Hannah. I talked about it before, but I don't know why. That was the only time I felt really sad about a relationship ending or a situationship ending. My last girlfriend, I had stuff lined up. My girlfriends before, the time came to an end naturally. This girl, it ended prematurely. And I just remember giving myself a couple of days to chill out, just get over it sort of thing. And I just watched Danny Duncan's vlogs, all of them, over and over and over. Just that day, just went and watched all his vlogs, and it made me genuinely feel better. Like watching his vlogs for that 10 minutes a day was just, just put me at ease. It's made me forget about everything. And I like doing that for people. I like that people can come on the Chaps Chat, put their earphones in. I like that people go watch our YouTube vlogs, and we are literally some people's favourite YouTubers. It's sick. It's amazing. And I like the idea that when people are going through something tough, they can message me or watch a vlog and forget about it all for a while. That is genuinely what makes me actually happy, as gay as it sounds. And it is gay to say that, but that is actually my peace and happiness. And I like that David's part of it. He's my best friend, so I like that me and him we're them guys. People sit down, listen to us on Chaps Chat Extra, watch our YouTube vlogs that me and him sit and think, this is funny, this isn't funny. That genuinely does mean a lot. But also I would like to address something really important as well. This is important. So, that was a bit of a deep topic there. We need to switch it up. As I say, I have got something really important to address. See, when you're scrolling Instagram or scrolling TikTok and you see a racist reel, and if you see I haven't liked it, you need to send me that. I've got a reputation to uphold here. You can't be scrolling the Instagram feed, seeing racist videos and going, oh, he hasn't liked it yet. Send it. Send it over here. I have got a reputation to uphold online. Get that over to me, quick. And I don't want any messing around. I really mean that. No messing around. Don't think about it twice. If I haven't liked it, get it to me. I mean that though, boys. If you see a reel that's racist and I haven't liked it, You send that thing straight to me. I've got a reputation to uphold. I need to like that. And I need to like it quick. I can't have people sitting around going, race real, not liked by Connell. Are you nuts? Send that over. Get it over to me quick. Alert me. Ring the town bells. You know the notification? The notification that goes to everybody on Apple. It should be like that. I should wake up to going, holy fuck. You haven't liked this race is real, bro. Like it. Get it over to me. We're not messing around over here. We need everybody to know. I need to like that quick. But I'm usually 2 steps ahead of you guys. I've already liked it. I've already had it sent to me. But make sure if there's any slip through the cracks, get them over to me. This is no topic for joking about. That's what I'm saying. So, also a lot of people are gonna, oh, wait. Okay, I have actually got a question about my court case here. So that is still a lingering topic, you know. As a lot of you guys saw, I went to jail for a while, you know, for a hot minute. And wasn't the best situation to be in, that's for sure. But a lot of you guys have messaged me about it. It's still I don't know why, there is like a full episode about it. We've talked about it. But a lot of you guys have messaged me asking about the court case, alright? So, yeah, most of the Chaps Chat listeners, if you're seeing this, or loyal Instagram followers, you will know all the circumstances of it. Where a guy accused me of beating him up, I didn't do it. Like, the CCTV didn't show it at all. Like, I don't know how it even got that far as it went to court. But for the generic group of people, you know, well, as I say, a lot of you guys saw that I went to jail. Went to jail for a while. Wasn't fun. Was in Dutch prison. And the trial and the investigation went on for 10 months. All of a sudden, the case is done, the trial's over, and there's a bit of ambiguity. You know, there's a bit of a question mark about how I actually got, you know, released and why the court hearing got dropped, etc. You know, why the charges got dropped. There's a lot of ambiguity. Is that the word? You know, should I say that? Ambiguity, or am I sounding like an idiot? But yeah, there's a lot of questions about how I got away with it. You know, how I got dropped. How the charges, you know, ended, how I didn't go to jail, how the investigation came to an end. A lot of people ask a lot of questions about it. To this day, a lot of people still message me being like, oh, why did they drop the charges? What was the evidence you had? Why did the judge not find you guilty? How come you got found innocent, etc.? And it was really simple. So on the day of the court hearing, I walked in and, you know, the victim, he was stood over there and he was saying, you know, Connell, he violently assaulted me, this whole big thing, alright? He violently assaulted me, all this, right? You know, the investigation's been going on for 10 months. They've got the CCTV footage, they took my clothes off me, etc., all being held in evidence. It was an extensive court case into me. You know, it was an extensive investigation into me. They were looking at my social media, etc., being like, is he a sort of violent person? Is this the sort of thing he does? So it was actually genuinely serious. Like, it was there was potential of facing further jail time. Obviously, I was out released from the court hearings, and yeah, it was intense. But as I say, well, then eventually 10 months later, the investigation's coming to an end, and now it's a trial. I have to go to court. I have to stand in front of the judge. Justice will hopefully be served. And the reason that the court charges against me, against me, goodness boys, I'm losing my mind here. The reason the charges against me got dropped is because I just walked in to the courtroom, said, Connell, did you commit this crime? Are you this criminal that we're trying to find here? You know, you're the criminal, mate. Are you a criminal? Did you do this? I just said, Your Honour, how can I be a criminal if I'm not black? Judge put the hammer down, bang, not guilty. He got us all there. That's how it ended. That's how my 10-month investigation came to a close, like that. What? How did the whole police service not realise that? How did they not clock on? This guy is pretty damn Caucasian. He wouldn't have done this. And that was me. I was a free man. I was out partying that night to celebrate my freedom. And I thank the Dutch jury. I thank the Dutch judicial system for finally seeing past allegations and just seeing skin colour. It's really good you did that. Thank you guys. Means a lot. Means an awful lot. But then we're going to get on to the topic of my DNA test, because I recently did a DNA test. Alright? That's the moment you're all here for. And like, can I just add, actually, before I get into the DNA test, I do feel black. I feel like a black man. And some mornings I wake up and I'm like, am I actually a white man? Am I a black man in a white man's body? Is that what this is? And like, I feel black. Like, most days I just think I'm in the wrong body. I feel like a black man in a Caucasian body. I feel like a black man in a white man's body, and something's not right, and nobody understands me. A lot of my culture don't get me. I just feel black. You know, and then people say, when I say that, people are like, why? How do you feel black? And see the way I just have the urge to say the N-word, and the way it rolls off my tongue. It's just like I'm black. Like that, I can't understand why I love that word so much, apart from the fact that maybe I'm meant to be black. It's just, there's nothing else. I don't like the food, I don't like the culture, I don't like anything about black culture, but that one word, I say it so frequently. It flows off my tongue so well. Like, sometimes I say it, and it's like the Dead Sea's departed, the heavens are coming down, there's angels around me, there's rainbows, there's leprechauns around me. It's just like heavenly. It's the way it flows off my tongue, so elegant. There's no reason that it comes off my tongue. There's no reason I've got such a strong urge to say the N-word, apart from the fact that I am a black man in a white man's body. The only reason I could solidly come to explain why I like saying the N-word so much is that I am a black man in a white man's body. But I did a DNA test recently, and this is serious, guys. So obviously you know where it's going. There's always people out there looking, you know, they're out there, they're trying to find their ancestry, they're trying to find where they're from, where their families are from. I didn't care about that. I did a DNA test hoping I had a bit of African in me, so that I could say the N-word. And if anybody got annoyed, I go, oh, whoa, pull up the DNA in me here. You can't shout at me, I got the pass. So I did a DNA test just to try and find out if I had any black heritage so I could get the N-word pass. And the results are in. The results are in. I'm 98% Irish and 2% Scottish. I'm actually 0% African. But that's close enough for me. I'm still going to say it. Still going to say that shit. Close enough. 0% African. That's pretty close to 1% African. I'm saying the N-word. You can't take it away from me, guys. It's better than -%. I'm nearly there. Almost at 1%. Still saying it. Nothing stopping me. I'm taking that N-word pass. I got it. 0%. Pretty much 1%. Round it up to the nearest number. Yeah, 1% African. Got the pass. What do you have? Nothing. You fucking idiots. Fucking idiots. 0% African, which is ridiculous, by the way. So, oh goodness, right, okay. So talking about the court case, you know, number one, I know like we do obviously make a lot of racist jokes online. And it does trickle into my real life. Like, you're hearing me saying this, oh, N-word pass, you know, I went into court, I'm not black, you can't really arrest me. You're hearing all that sort of thing. But, you know, a lot of people, when they meet me, or when they see my videos, etc., a lot of people, when, you know, at first glance, people think I'm racist. And they assume, that I'm racist, you know. You know, I've seen his videos, I've seen the things he's liked on Instagram, you know, I've heard some of the stuff he said, he's racist. But then they get to know me. They get to know me on a deeper level, they get to know about my background, my family, my education, how I truly think, and then they realise I'm a lot more racist than they initially thought, you know. Your preconception was wrong. I'm way worse than you think. You haven't seen the half of it yet. Get to know me, and then here, let me tell you what I think about the Jews. Let me tell you about these Islami people. Let me tell you about them black folk. Oh yeah. How many slurs can I say in a minute? Yeah, let's do that. Way worse than you guys think. I heard somebody call black people farming equipment the other day, which I thought was pretty fucking insane. I actually genuinely was like, wow, that is one of the maddest, unique terms, but apparently it's not. Apparently that's what the old guys used to genuinely call black people. They call them farming equipment. But we have come close to the end of the episode. You know, we make a lot of racist jokes. This has been a fun episode. I hope everybody's laughed, smiled. But I do want to inspire a little bit of hope into the people out there, into the youth, into the listeners. We're all young men out here, you know. A lot of people are in there. Actually, listeners are a lot are actually like 17, and a lot are actually in their early 30s. So everybody here, either a young boy to a young man, which is mad to say. You hit a certain age, you're like, wow, 30 is really not as old as it looks, as it seemed when you were a kid. But listen, guys, see what's going on in the world right now. Let's never forget this. You know, there's a lot of crazy shit happening in the world right now. The Jews are up to everything. The blacks are acting bang out of order. Women need to be told to get back in the kitchen, right? And there's a lot of madness going on in the world right now. And there's a lot of smug, cocky minorities. You know, I'm seeing a lot of Jews getting very confident. I'm seeing Muslims saying there's going to be, you know, Muhammad is going to be a house, or what is it? Islam's going to be a household religion soon. You know, I saw a video like that. People really need to realise, and people need to wake up. Us white Europeans actually don't fuck about. Let's not get it twisted here. Let's not get it twisted. I feel like a lot of minorities, you know, is minorities the right term? A lot of different races are getting very confident right now. You know, the Muslims are saying, as I just said there, the Muslims are saying they're going to be in every household. It's going to be a household religion. They're saying, what is it? Islam? Is Islam a Muslim? I don't know. You know, but Muslims are saying, you know, Islam's going to be in every household. Jews are playing right in front of our eyes right now. The Jews are just hiding in broad daylight. They're not trying to cover up what they're doing. Blacks' crime is an all-time high, and they're getting away with it left, right and centre. Immigrants are invading the world. And it's important to remember one thing. Europeans don't fuck about. Let's not get that twisted, boys. Us white Europeans don't fuck about. Yeah, you may think that, you know, you're invading our countries. You may think, you know, the Jews are hiding in front of us. They're mocking us. They're laughing at the goy. You may think that Islam's going to be in every household. Listen, see, when it comes to crunch time, the Europeans don't fuck about. We're going to get our country back. Don't get it twisted. Us Europeans will get our countries back. Don't get it twisted. Don't mistake us. We may be a bit dormant now, but throughout history, we've come back. We've come back bigger. We've come back stronger. We've come back smarter. We fight back. We fight back hard, and we're fantastic at it. We may lay dormant. We may be sitting low. You may be thinking, yeah, we're mugging you off right to your faces here. We're laughing at you. You know, you're eating our shitty. We're feeding you fast food. We're telling you what to read. Islam's spreading like wildfire. We're getting away with it. We're invading their countries. Listen, throughout history, it's got to a breaking point, and you guys have all learned your lessons, and you still cry about it. And you still cry about it hundreds of years later. Don't forget it. It's getting to that breaking point, you know. See all the European boys. We're going to have our little white children running around Europe, skipping. They're not going to be worried about what sort of pesticides are on their food. They're not going to be worried about getting their phones stolen. They're not going to be worried about getting raped. They're not going to be worried about, you know, it being fine for Islam to marry one of them when they're 9 years old. They're not going to be worried about that. We're going to get this back. We're going to get this country back. I'm seeing a lot of people saying Europe's collapsed and Europe's failed. Let's not get it twisted. We don't fuck about. This happens throughout history. This happens throughout history. We're beaten down to a point that we can't have any more of it, and we hit back, and we hit back a lot harder than any of you guys hit us. Let's not get it twisted. We come in thick and we come in fast. We're smart. We're strong. And that's the thing. It is now time for European men to actually start reading, getting smarter, getting stronger, getting healthier, getting cleaner, getting more awake. It's time. It's actually getting to that point. But yes, as I say, our children aren't going to be worried about that. Let's not forget it. We're not going to let this go on. So you're not going to get what you want, boys. We always prevail. Europeans always prevail. Let's not forget it. We made all your countries great. And I'm not English, but even small countries like England managed to colonise the world. Spain managed to colonise the world. England managed to colonise 3/4 of it, or whatever it was, you know. The Dutch colonised the world. The Spanish colonised the world. The English colonised the world. Do you think we're going to just turn over and fold over because you think we're stupid? Listen, it's not going to happen. But as I say, boys, it is now getting to the time that, like, specifically, well, European women, the Europeans in general, right? It's time to wake up. It is time to wake up for Europe. We need to get stronger. We need to not eat the shit that the people in the tiny hats are telling us to eat. We need to not be eating the fast food they're trying to shovel down us. We need to get smarter. We shouldn't really be using Instagram. We shouldn't be getting our information from Instagram. Shouldn't be getting our information from TikTok. We shouldn't be getting our information from the curriculum. You know, we need to get bigger. We need to get smarter. We need to get stronger. We need to be using apps like Mirage. Free information. You can read what you want. You can see what you want. We need to be eating healthier foods. We can't be eating the stuff that they're putting and sending to us. We can't be eating, pesticides, etc. Don't forget, the Muslims and the Jews have their own shop. They're selling us what they won't eat. Don't forget it. We need to be eating healthier. We need to be eating cleaner. We need to be getting bigger. We need to be getting stronger. We need to be getting smarter. You know? They're eating foods that's making their brains fucking more. They're not using the same apps as us. They're not destroying their retention rate. They've got their own platforms, or they've got no platforms that they use. We need to be using apps like Mirage. We need to be going on there, getting access to important, unfiltered, and unnarrated, untwisted, unforced opinions. We need to be getting the true opinions. We need to get the true facts. We need to get smarter. We need to know what's going on in the real world. We don't want to be getting spoon-fed the nonsense they want to tell us. We don't want to be seeing pro-Israeli stuff on our feed. We don't want to be seeing, stuff that's saying immigration's good. We need to go somewhere, be on an app that is more efficient, that is a freedom of speech platform, that is going to let you say what you want, think what you want, be what you want. We need to be on apps like that. We need to be eating cleaner. We need to be dressing better. We need to be having more white babies. Another thing as well, we need to be having a lot more white children. Unfortunately, we need to stop race mixing because the white population is going extinct. You might love you might love black people. You might find them very attractive. Unfortunately, we're about to go extinct. We need to stop that. We need to have more white babies, myself included. So I need a blonde hair, blue eye woman. Who are we joking? Brunette will do. That's why I'm only joking, of course. Any will do. No gingers though. No gingers. I'm only joking. I like gingers. But anyway, boys, we need to lock in. Europe needs to lock in. We need to get bigger, stronger, faster, smarter. We need to outdo them. But we always get there. We always get there eventually. We always get to a point where we can return. We never get to the point of no return. Pardon me, but we never get to the point of no return. We'll make it happen, boys. We're going to get there. White boys are going to be back on top. The Europeans are going to be back on top. Look at the buildings. We're going to build more buildings. We're going to build more beautiful buildings. We're going to invent and create more fantastic technology. That's what we do, boys. We're on top. But listen, chaps and chapettes, I love yous. I appreciate yous. Vlogs will be coming soon. They're going to be banging. And I appreciate everybody who's listened this far. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I love yous. And ciao.